Welcome back to our channel, The Typical Tutor. Today we are going to talk about ethics, what it means, why it is important, and how it relates to our daily lives, especially for someone who is preparing or working in civil services. Ethics essentially means the principles or rules that helps us understand what's right and wrong, guiding how we act in different situations. So now, what is ethics? Ethics comes from the Greek word ethos, which means character. It refers to a set of moral principles or guidelines that helps a person or a group decide what is right or wrong. For example, as a civil servant, you will have the responsibility to act ethically by treating everyone equally, ensuring justice, and making decisions that benefits the people and the country. Ethics in civil services could mean following laws and policies even when no one is watching, ensuring the welfare of society over personal gain. Let us understand why ethics is so important. Let me break it down with few reasons. Now, firstly, improving society. Ethical behavior plays a crucial role in making society better. Take, for example, a civil servant who ensures that resources are distributed fairly. Their ethical actions help create a more just and equitable society. Second, equal treatment for all. Ethics ensures that everyone is treated equally. That is particularly vital in civil services, where decisions must be made without discrimination, regardless of caste, religion, gender, economic status, or career. Thirdly, and finally, reducing stress. Acting ethically also helps lessen personal stress. Imagine making a corrupt decision. Sure, it might offer short term gains, but you will constantly live in the fear of being caught or the guilt of your actions. Ethical decisions, on the other hand, offer peace of mind and long term respect. What motivates someone to do the right thing? Here are four key reasons. Number one, conscience. Your inner voice tells you what's right. For instance, if a civil servant is offered a bribe, their conscience will remind them that accepting it is wrong. Number two, social recognition. We all want to be respected by society. In the civil services, when you act ethically, society respects and values your decisions. Number three, sense of larger good. A person that often realizes that their individual good is linked to the good of society. For instance, if an officer helps organize a vaccination drive, they know it is not just for the public, but for the overall well-being of the country. Rational thinking. Ethics is also about thinking logically. For example, if you decide not to cheat in an exam, it is because you logically understand that doing so is unfair and might hurt your career in the long run. Morality are closely related, but they aren't the same thing. Morality is personal. It is what an individual thinks is right or wrong based on their own beliefs. For example, you might believe in giving free education because you personally feel it is the right thing. Ethics, on the other hand, is a set of values accepted by society or a group. For instance, the law that guarantees the right to education is an ethical standard set by the government for everyone. In civil services, you must align your personal morality with public ethics, ensuring your personal values do not conflict with society's need. For instance, even if you personally believe in strict punishment, you have to follow the ethical and legal framework of the justice system. Ethics. How do we decide if something is ethical or not? Firstly, intention behind the action. The reason for doing something matters. If you are making a decision to help society, that's ethical. If a civil servant prioritizes public welfare while implementing policies, their actions are considered ethical. Secondly, society or culture of the day. What society or culture considers ethical changes over time. For example, child labor was once accepted, but today it is considered unethical. Thirdly, individual beliefs. Personal beliefs also matters. For instance, a civil servant might have personal values of honesty and integrity, motivating them to reject bribes. Dimension of ethics. There are three main dimensions of ethics: meta ethics, normative ethics, and applied ethics. Meta ethics is the study of what morality itself means. It is more abstract and doesn't tell you what's right or wrong directly, For example, you might question why honesty is considered a virtue in society. Meta ethics would help you explore the reasoning behind this. Normative ethics tells you right or wrong based on the principles like consequentialism and non-consequentialism. Consequentialism, also known as utilitarian approach, this focuses on the outcome. If your actions benefits the greatest number of people, it's ethical. For example, if a civil servant implements a policy that benefits the majority, that's ethical under this principle under this view. Non-consequentialism or deontological approach. This focuses on the act itself. If the act is inherently good, it's ethical. For instance, refusing a bribe is ethical because the act of rejecting corruption is good in itself, regardless of the consequences. Number three, applied ethics. This refers to applying ethical principles to real world situations, deciding whether to support capital punishment or how to address corruption in the government. A civil servant might use applied ethics to address issues like environmental sustainability or economic inequality. Universal versus relative ethics. Ethical universalism and ethical relativism are two major views about ethics. Some rules are universal and apply to everyone, no matter the time or place. For instance, civil servants should always act with integrity regardless of their personal opinion. Morality is subjective and depends on the individual or culture. What is ethical for one society may not be ethical for another. For example, strict adherence to laws may vary in different regions of the world. That is ethical relativism. However, ethical pluralism strikes a balance. It says that while there are many different moral truths, we can still find common ground. Civil servants often operate in this space where they balance universal laws with the cultural needs of the community they serve. We conclude this lecture with a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. This means that true happiness comes when your thoughts, words, and actions are aligned with ethical principles. As a civil servant, your actions should reflect honesty, integrity, and larger public good. When you act ethically, you not only contribute to society but also achieve personal satisfaction and peace. In civil services, ethics are not just theoretical concepts but the foundation of how you will serve the public. Whether you are making policy decisions, handling resources, or serving the people directly, your ethical compass will guide you in delivering fair, just, and efficient services. The examples discussed here, like refusing bribes, ensuring equality, and prioritizing the common good, are directly related to what you will encounter in civil services. Ethics ensures that even under pressure, you do what's right for the greater good. Thank you. See you in the next lecture.